Los Angeles Chargers getting the win over the Denver Broncos, 23-20. I would describe this as 3 different games in one. What are you smirking at?
Just this. There's a part in that read where it's good for you fats, that can be like fats that are good for you. It could also be
it's good for you, comma.
Exactly.
Fats.
It could also be interpreted a very different way, which
How
I think
did I
would
say
have,
it? Did I say it like I was talking to fats?
You said it in a way
for
that
you,
made me
fats.
at least in my brain it was like, that's an interesting thing to say. And
Maybe
it's like, I understand what he's saying now.
Maybe I was talking to me. I was like,
yeah,
it's good for you, fatty.
like, yeah, look, this food is good for you, fats.
It's good for you, fats. That should be hyphenated.
Got
Good
it.
for you is the adjective.
No, I understand that now.
Adjective should be
Yeah.
hyphenated. Embrace the hyphen. Not as much as
like,
ChatGPT, but
this is like we were talking about this when it came to naming the studio, right? Sometimes you just got to be careful the way you say the words, or it can come across wrong.
Antonio Cromartie Studio brought to you by Huggies or something.
Yeah.
To the effect. Is that what it is? Losing pace a bit. Okay, Will. All right, Will. We're slowing down. Don't worry. There's a Seahawks blowout to buzz through soon. I got that in the back of my brain. So 3 different games in this one. The Chargers get up 10-0. The Broncos, it takes a 4th and 2 busted coverage to get the Broncos back in the game. 52-yarder to Cortland Sutton. And then it's all Broncos. Like the middle of this game is all Broncos.
Yeah.
They come back. J.K. Dobbins just takes over the game.
And it happened fast as well. It's
Right.
like the Chargers are sort of winning the game in control, and then suddenly I look up and it's like Denver's up by a score. Like, what?
So they have the busted coverage, Cortland Sutton for 52 yards. And by the way, the Chargers, the pass defense stats are outstanding. There's a busted coverage for 52 yards to Cortland Sutton, and at least 3 passes that I think Bo Nix left maybe 150 yards or so on the table.
Yeah.
That there were open receivers behind this defense that have done a really good job of not allowing easy completions. That's how we've described this Chargers defense. Well, they allowed some easy completions, and the Broncos
statistically didn't in this game.
Right.
Yeah.
Opponents were 4 for 22 on 20-plus yard throws against the Chargers coming into this game. 4 for 22. And Nix missed 3 of these passes. But J.K. Dobbins takes over the game. He's got a long run. And then what goes into the box score as a 19-yard touchdown run, which was Bo Nix doing what Mahomes did a couple times, a backwards little swing screen where Dobbins makes a great catch and then runs it in through the defense. Like Dobbins just took over the middle of this game.
Yeah.
And the Broncos are up a score with 3 minutes left in the game, and Justin Herbert takes over the game, and they kick the game-winning field goal with 5 seconds left.
Yes. Crazy game.
The Chargers.
Impressive from both teams, I think, in varying degrees. The Chargers, I think you got to give them a lot of credit for the way they did come back in that game. Under duress, Justin Herbert made a couple of ridiculous plays where he was under pressure, where he was escaping, making crazy throws, against the grain with all arm strength, like throws that are not that many quarterbacks can make. Nick Benito had Joe Alt.
I know what you're referencing. Just tell people. Just tell people. I know what you're referencing.
Dano had a tweet that was like, only 5 quarterbacks in the world can make this play.
Herbert's one of them.
Yeah. Dano, I think, has a trend of tweeting that way.
Only 5 people can do
only
this.
5 guys in the world can make this play. There were different 5 every time, and, it turns out when you add up the number of people that he's tweeted that about, I suspect you get to more than 5. But, yeah, it was a really impressive throw. And he made a few of them in this game.
The play that he made to Keenan Allen. I mean, first off, Nick Benito had 3 sacks in this game.
Yeah.
He was going up against Joe Alt, theoretically.
2 of which he just, smoked Joe Alt off the line immediately.
So I think one he put like a little crossover on Joe Alt. I think that was all on Alt. There was one where he got off the ball so fast, and I don't think any left tackle had a chance. Nick Benito's get off. I think Next Gen Stats has him with the best get off. They track that stuff like 0.7 whatever that number is. He was incredible. He's incredible, and it shows up like no. Myles Garrett's up there as far as by their third step. How close, how on the tackle are you, or past the tackle are you? Like nobody's better than Benito right now at that. And so another one was against the tight end pulling or whatever it was, or guard. But Benito was just in the backfield. And the game-tying touchdown that Justin Herbert had, it was the same thing. Benito was in the backfield, and Zach Allen wins almost immediately off the line of scrimmage. And Benito wasn't in the backfield, but Zach Allen wins right away. Herbert scrambles left. Benito's then in his face, and Herbert's scrambling left and hits Keenan Allen for a game-tying touchdown. The end-of-game sequence from Justin Herbert was, dare I say, MVP caliber, the whole sequence.
Yeah.
That game-tying touchdown. Then it's a tie game, and they get the game-winning drive opportunity, and Herbert marches them down the field for the game-winning field goal. Herbert it was an up-and-down game. He's dealing with injuries on the offensive line, a fierce Broncos pass rush, but the Chargers end up surviving, and love what Herbert did down the stretch there in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
One of only 5 guys to make that game-winning drive. Hey, guys, real quick, only 40% of our viewers are actually subscribed, so let's change that. Hit that subscribe button, and now let's get back to the action.
Yeah, Herbert looked great. He's been playing at that kind of level all the way through the season. Poor old Najee Harris pops his Achilles.
That was awful.
Just a routine.
And Herbert jumped over him.
Dude, the ability to make that play.
That was unbelievable.
Not only does he jump over him, he's then standing there looking like the pass is right over the top of the guy who's on the ground, like his teammate is writhing in pain right in his eye line, and instead he's like, "Nah, I'm going to throw the ball right over your head to a receiver and make the play." I'm kind of amazed that instinct didn't kick in, and he's like, "Oh no," because if you're playing a sport and something like that happens, everyone stops.
Yeah.
It's like dude's on the ground in agony because something bad has happened to him. Everyone hold up, And instead, Justin Herbert's like, no, eyes on the prize. I'm going to deliver a laser right over his head.
The instincts to, leap over him, finish the play. Got to feel for Najee, though. There were some awful injuries, especially in the 4 o'clock window.
Horrible injury. And also, I feel like this is happening more, but it was like it was just the setup step for a play action fake. He just put his foot in the ground and his leg just went, Achilles, snap. That, I swear that didn't used to happen.
Why is that happening?
So I messaged our guy, Vic Troja, from the Boo Boo Breakdown. I was like, is this my imagination? Is this happening more? And he sent me some data. He was like, it's funny you ask. I was just talking to a friend about it because we've definitely seen more and more of that lately. He looked it up. I think this is just talking about total Achilles. I think Achilles injuries equals Achilles tear. On average, there have been about 22 per season since 2020. Before that, from 2009 to 2016, there was only an average of about 14 a year, and then even less in years prior to that. So we are definitely seeing this significant and consistent uptick in Achilles tear injuries in recent years. Anecdotally, it also feels like more and more of those are nothing burgers in terms of what the force. Sometimes you see these things where a guy where a guy puts a crazy force to his Achilles, and you see exactly why the thing went no mas on this play and snaps. But remember Dre Greenlaw going on
just running out onto the field in the
this
Super Bowl.
one, he just put his foot in the ground and his Achilles snapped. There's been these plays where guys are just seemingly putting nothing through their Achilles in terms of force. Now, look, they're all big guys, 250-pound people, I imagine, can generate quite a lot of force through their Achilles, even when it doesn't really look like it. But you would imagine in the lower end of percentages of forces they're putting through their Achilles in the course of a regular football game. Vic's speculation is just these super athletes,
stronger.
It's just
bigger,
that's
faster,
the straw
stronger.
that breaks the camel's back, as opposed to they are consistently stressing their Achilles, and eventually your Achilles just says, forget about it, on random plays. It's not that play that's specific. It's that super athletes are putting a ton of force through their Achilles on a regular basis, and eventually that elastic band just snaps on a random play.
I've been impressed with the Chargers' pass game once again. Quentin Johnston.
Dude, he is making plays.
Making plays in traffic. Justin Herbert having the trust.
That was a broken play, an adjusted play by him. It was the classic, Quentin Johnston play where he's running across or over the middle. He's trying to find the window. First one isn't really there. Oh, got to adjust. Bails on it, goes again, and then eventually he realizes it's now a completely broken play. Adjust deep the way you want a receiver to do. And then it's a contested catch, and he goes up over a dude, mosses him, makes the play. Those are plays he was not making.
Look at the well-distributed production here. Johnston led the team with 6 catches for 89 yards. Keenan Allen, of course, with his 7 for 65 at 9.3 per pop. Classic Keenan Allen as the dependable move the chains guy. Marion Hampton had 6 catches out of the backfield. Aronde Gadsden, the rookie, tight end / receiver, had 5 catches. Then Ladd McConkey had only 4 catches. And coming into the year, we said, hey, Ladd needs help. I would say overall this is a good thing for the Chargers. I think Ladd could still be a high-volume guy if you need him to be, but they haven't needed that just yet because Johnston and Keenan Allen and everyone else are making plays. Hampton did a pretty nice job running the ball as well and had a rushing touchdown in there. So Herbert finishes with 300 yards passing, 47 attempts, got sacked 5 times. I think it was impressive that he survived as he did. And then from a Broncos perspective, another heartbreaker. Second straight week, you did not trail in the fourth quarter, the Broncos, over the last 2 weeks, and they've got 2 losses. So they've lost on 2 game-winning field goals, including the leverage play last week. They are so close, literally plays away from being 3-0. They're 1-2. The Bo Nix missed plays, though. I know the locker room was backing him up, and it's not Bo Nix. It's a team effort and everything. It's what you should say.
Right.
But remember last year, he started off pretty slow last year, turned it around in week 3. It's 3 rough weeks so far from what I've seen from Bo Nix.
I think he was better in this game, and certainly his ability to scramble is so important. It's a little bit like Justin Herbert in terms of it catches defenses by surprise a lot of the time. And you're right. It's what they should be saying, but he did also miss a bunch of plays that probably would have been the difference between winning and losing.
Marvin Mims twice when our guys are the ones that they overthrow.
It's also unfortunate. So, yes, it wasn't all him. Troy went back to being rookie Troy and dropped a pretty stone-handed pass.
Franklin.
Yes, Troy
It would
Franklin.
have been negated by his own offensive pass interference anyway.
Right.
But, yes, he did drop one in the end zone.
That wasn't great. But, yes, particularly the ones to Marvin Mims, I mean, those are plays that if he makes those, they probably don't lose the game.
Yeah. Why is this telling me to sign in again? My list here. Anything else? So Chargers are 3-0. The Broncos are they the?
Ooh, so late in the game, Bo Nix has a scramble, 3rd and 13, almost picks it up. 6 minutes left. They're half a yard away at your own 29, 30-yard line. Punt the ball away. Would you have gone for that?
How much time was left again? Yeah,
6 minutes-ish. I could look up the exact situation if you need.
I thought that was wasn't that right what set up the final drive?
Probably, yeah. The Chargers chewed up a lot of that.
3 minutes left.
Hang on.
Oh, no, that was they forced a 3-and-out and then got the ball back.
Fourth quarter.
You're right. They were up 7 at the time.
Yeah, here we go. 13. So 6 minutes left on 3rd and 13. They take it down to 5:15 by the time the 4th and 1 goes off. But yeah, like 5-6 minutes left. Bo Nix scrambled, almost picked it up, got 12 yards of the 13. So 4th and 1 for the Denver 29 with 5:15 left is when the 4th down goes off. They punt it away. The Chargers chew up the next 3 minutes and get a touchdown and tie it up at that point. But like you keep that drive alive, you are putting them under a lot of pressure.
That was a really impressive scramble by Nix.
Yes.
I thought he got it. He was barely down at the half-yard line. When if it was under a yard, I think you got to go for it. That's the play I'm saying that I've been citing around the league.
It's crazy high leverage.
Happening.
It's risky, but it's the aggressive play that people are making now, and I was kind of surprised they didn't go for it.
But you know what the conversation probably was? Defense is playing great.
Yeah, sure.
We're trusting our defense. Trusting your defense is always risky. It's risky to give it to your offense and give the short field, of course, but
it's risky either way. This one struck me as interesting because I think a lot of teams would have gone for this in today's NFL.
In today's NFL, yes. Even
now, a lot of teams don't have Denver's defense, but still.
And I've already cited a whole bunch of plays like the Colts went for one. If they didn't get it, it would have let the Titans back into that game.
Doesn't it also just feel like you have more control over it? Even if it's a 50-50 proposition in either side of the ball, it feels better if you have the ball. I would prefer to have control over the plays I'm calling and executing and hoping I out-execute the offense as opposed to hoping that my counter to their punch is the thing that works.
The problem would be, because a couple weeks ago, the Broncos screwed up their late game situations a bunch. And I wonder, in hindsight now, they went for a 4th and 1 and didn't get it against the Titans in week 1. But that was Cam Ward in the Titans offense.
Yeah.
And so the Broncos put their defense in a bind, and the Broncos defense came through every single time. I wonder how much that played into Sean Payton's decision. Hey, I remember, put our defense in a bind. They still came through. Let's trust them. The problem with that is even if the defense is playing great and you're having awesome success against this Chargers team this particular week with their offensive line beat up and Justin Herbert playing as he is, it's still Justin Herbert with a pretty good group of pass catchers who are playing good football this year, and it's not Cam Ward and the Titans. That's where the models do a good job of accounting for that and saying it doesn't actually matter what's happened the first 3 quarters. There's a plethora of other information and data that should weigh into it even more. And so punting the ball to Herbert in the Chargers, even when your defense is playing great, is risky because he's good and he's got dudes to throw to now.
That's huge. I think like if you're in this world of, remember, this is always the thing that people say when they want to overrule the analytics or data is, well, what about the in-game quirks and the various intricacies and idiosyncrasies of each situation? The relevant sort of factor here is Justin Herbert is playing out of his mind at the moment, looking like one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Do you want to give that guy the opportunity late in the game? I would say no, relative to normal, baseline situations or baseline numbers. Like, would Justin Herbert being the opposing quarterback change your average data set for this thing? I would say, yeah. If it's going to, it's going to change in the other direction. Instead, they punt and didn't go well for them.
So the Chargers are 3-0. Every other team in the AFC West is 1-2 now. Chiefs, Raiders, and Broncos. All tied for second or tied for last, depending on how you want to look at it in the AFC West.
Depending on if you're a glass half full or empty kind of guy.
And the Chargers, with a very quirky, they've beaten every team in the division now. And they're sitting there at 3-0 with a 2-game lead and the tiebreaker over all other 3 teams through 3 weeks.
Yeah,
so,
the Chargers.
Good start for the Chargers.
I mean, they are establishing themselves as a true contender at this point. They are 3-0. Obviously, that's a good start. They're also beating some good teams now. They kind of gone better for the Chargers. Thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video.
Check the Mic is live every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, so be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a thing.
And the all-knowing algorithm is convinced you'll also like these videos, and who are we to argue?